We are recording, and it's time. In 3, 2, 1.
Some of your favorite cartoon characters will help you understand how drugs and alcohol can ruin your life.
There better be Coke left in that fridge, is all I can say.
The Morning Stream. This little piggy's going to market.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to TMS. It's the morning stream for August 29th, 2023. I'm Scott Johnson. That's Brian Ibbett. Hi, Brian.
Hello.
Hey, man. So that music... Oh, go ahead. What are you going to say?
Way better today, by the way, I got to say. Today, much better day starting the show than yesterday was. Even though...
No internet hang-ups? You get some sleep and all that?
No internet hang-ups. I still got to bed at midnight, a little after midnight, but that was for a good reason as opposed to just a flying home on an airplane reason.
Right. For those who missed
and
the
if you want to know what it
yeah.
was, you got to listen to the pre-show.
Yeah, we're not gonna give you any spoilers, but Brian did a fun thing. Let's say that. Okay.
I did a fun thing.
Yeah. No, that's cool, but that's good. You get back to normal. Actually, I'm a little surprised how that's a little intense. You go for a weekend away, big social gathering, and you immediately come home on a red-eye flight, and then you have to get caught up on everything, and then you immediately go to a big concert.
Go to a concert, and a late night concert, a concert with a big band and two opening acts. I should say, big band. It wasn't. It was a popular band and two opening acts, and so it was like leaving Red Rocks at 10:45, 11 o'clock, and dropping off Uncle George and Aunt Barb.
How's parking at that venue? That's the one thing I meant to ask.
Well, if you have a lift sign in the front of your car, you can go up to the top.
I didn't think about this little benefit.
Dropping people off, and that's kind of what I did. I basically took George, Barb, and Tina up to the top. Had the lift sign in. They moved the little pylons over so you can get through. I took them all the way up to the top, and then drop them off and said, all right, wish me luck. And then I go down to the next parking lot, which they close off because it's quote unquote full. And it's really just a counting error on their part because there were still at least, 20 spots in the second lot, the second highest lot. The top lot is 12 parking spaces. You're not going to park up there.
Yeah, no way.
But the one below that is it's just a stairway walk up to the top for Red Rocks. And so I rounded the corner basically in a spot where I was out of visual range of the people that moved the pylons for me and the people up at the top. And I just go yoink, and I pull the little USB-C cord that my light up lift sign is attached to. And it pulls down into the seat. I catch it, I shove it into the corner in the car there in the front seat, and then I just go to the next parking lot.
I love this. This is clandestine. I like it. It's like a little sneaky thing.
It's the first time I've ever tried it, but I've kind of always wanted to do it. After taking a lot of people up to Red Rocks and seeing that there's always spots in the second to highest lot, it's like, oh, I could park there. I could totally do it.
Hell yeah. No, I think this is great. This is like that Simpsons episode where Homer pulls into a handicap spot and then drags his foot to the front door of the store. It's a little bit like that.
It's not like that at all. That's a horrible thing.
It is a horrible thing. It is a horrible thing. However, it is like, in Homer's mind, it might be the same, I guess. Now that I think about it.
Exactly. In Homer's mind, it's okay. I am, and never would in a million years take a spot away. I don't care how close to Prarie Dog and I am. I'm not going to take that big, the big stall in a public bathroom, even if the other stalls are taken. Speaking of which, got irritated with that in the Atlanta airport day before
a bathroom
yesterday.
Story. Let's do tell.
Back,
yeah.
So, sitting there at the gate with T, and I'm like, oh man, all right, I guess I've got to go do it. I've got to go poop in an public airport toilet. Damn it.
Ugh.
The second least favorite thing, and I think we can probably agree on the worst place to have to do that.
Yeah.
So walk into the bathroom, and there's a guy waiting. So like there's all the urinals, and then there's all the stalls, and there's a guy waiting there. I'm like, oh yeah, I see there's a couple of urinals available, so I know why you're waiting. And guy comes out, dude in front of me goes in, and I'm standing there waiting to use the stalls. Two guys come up behind me, and then they're the nice guys who basically let everybody know. Everybody who comes into the bathroom, they're the ones who let them know, hey, if you got to use a pisser, the pissers are available. And that's exactly the word he uses, by the way.
Pissers? Awesome.
The pissers.
Love it. Okay.
Yeah, the pissers are available, y'all. Anyway.
Wow.
So finally somebody else comes out and of a stall. I go in. I do what I need to do. I hear some TikTok videos or something going on from another stall, whatever. I do what I need to do. I come out, and those poor two guys are still waiting for one of the other 5 stalls to open up. And I just look at one of them, and I kind of like shake my head like, people, get off your phones, do your stuff. You're about to, you can go do that stuff in the gate. You can go watch TikTok videos while you're sitting in the gate or on the plane or something.
Yeah, big push and get off. Get out. Go, get
exactly.
in. Go, get out.
Evacuate.
Yeah.
And then evacuate.
Right. I'm sure there's some exceptions where somebody's got a problem or whatever.
Well, sure.
I'm sure that happens, but for the most part, y'all are just sitting there wasting time. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
While other people are, like Brian says, prairie dogging. Okay.
Yeah. There's guys behind me, guys who were behind me who were waiting, and it's like, oh man, I know that feeling. I know that feeling of being stuck and you're just like sitting there waiting and you're waiting. And it's bad enough you have to just sit there and stand in a public restroom, just looking around like, yep. Gotta go to the bathroom. You all know what I'm waiting to do,
Just run in there and go, I'm crowning, and see if somebody responds,
Yeah.
Finally.
I would, want to do a George Costanza and just say, we live in a society here. People waiting for the stalls.
I realized that was the episode. We just watched that episode again, and Jerry claims he has a sister in that episode, and we've never ever seen a sister in that series.
No kidding. Oh wow.
Yeah, and George does this too in an early episode where he has a brother, and we never see a brother, and they never bring it up again. They're completely like chicks in the bucket. They never show up again.
That's funny. You never see any. Do you ever see any siblings from the main 4?
No. In fact, the closest you get is Elaine's dad. Mm-hmm. Going to the bathroom. That guy.
Jerry's parents, George's parents.
Yeah, the parents. You get parents, and I feel like the rest of the series is just sort of assume they're only childs.
I think so. Yeah.
Because
and Kramer's mom you get, right? Because the episode where it's revealed that his first name is Cosmo, I think you see.
I think maybe they were onto something by never going back to those ideas, because there is a simplicity to it, right? You complicate the relationships when you introduce somebody who is closely related that isn't a parent, because that's generational, but a sibling is like, I don't know, complicate your story. So it's the right thing to do, but it's just weird that they bring it up and then they never talk about it again.
Plus, it also helps enforce the fact that they're selfish a-holes, because we all know that only children, speaking from experience, only children are selfish a-holes.
As you can tell.
Just kind of goes with the...
Yeah, as you can tell, Brian, the most selfish a-hole I know, just the worst.
That's right. And they're, the trial, which basically, just says, look, these 4 people they're only children. They don't have brothers or sisters. They're selfish a-holes.
Yeah, they're the worst. And so now let's have every guest star we've ever had come up on the stand and testify. Last night was fun because we had a soccer game, so we went to see Van's soccer game. It was very hot yesterday. It was a super hot day and no clouds, and that sucks. I don't like that for soccer. But whatever, we're sitting in our dumb little chairs and watching Van play. And I want to give some credit to somebody in the chat. This is from... you know what? I put that under news. I'll save it for that, because there's this great term that one of our listeners coined for the kind of soccer that Van is playing at this age.
Oh yeah, I love that.
It's pretty great.
I saw that intro. I was like, oh, that is that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. But it's he was dead on. But anyway, that was fun. It's always fun rooting for him. And Taylor was in charge of treats, and it's just a dumb tradition. Whatever, you just do it. So we're doing that, but we knew we had to leave it around 6:15 because Eric Van Skyhawk was in town to see his parents, and he was born and raised here. But he lives in just outside of New York and works in New York, works in Manhattan, and was here to visit. So he's like, "Hey, you want to go hang out?" And we're like, "Yeah, we'll figure out a time. Let's do dinner." So we did dinner at this Peruvian place.
Ooh.
And so we went there. And it was great. They did it's really healthy, like good chicken stuff and salads and avocado dishes and all this sort of thing. It was very, very good. But there's hardly anybody there, which is weird. But anyway, we were hanging out and we were talking about music, and I was telling them about how whenever this happens, everybody in the chat goes nuts and starts typing TMS over and over.
Typing the letters, yeah.
He's never been to a live show, so he didn't know his music was inspiring this meme, this thing. So that was just a fun thing, and I wanted to let Tadpool and chat room in particular know about it. He really liked hearing that. I think I talked him into working on not a remix, but like a new arrangement.
Oh, cool!
So we'll hear soon on that. I think maybe. And also, we decided that we're all very old while we were there.
Yeah,
because we took this photo. I need to share this. I'll put it in your thing as well. This I hate this photo because for two reasons. I think I look like his grandfather, and he wait, why didn't it move? Oh, there it is. Oh, this isn't. You know what? The weird. I understand why the motion photos matter to people, but the format it makes so you can't share it around freaking pisses me off.
It is a pain in the butt. Yeah, it's nice, and I wish there was a button, just one button you had to press, not any sort of conversion process or anything.
Yeah.
Give me one button where I can turn it into a GIF if I wanted.
Exactly. Make it simple. But anyway, there's Eric and there's me, and I look like I smell something bad. You
look like I don't understand how these things work.
Yeah, it's horrendous. It's a horrible photo. Yeah. It's the wrong angle. I look like a thumb. I've never looked. My hair has never looked whiter, which is funny because you look at me in here. I don't look that white.
No, it's like more blonde when we look at it on camera here. But boy, right there, it looks like
I look like the snowman that came from the north. It's just horrible. And then Eric over here, just looking a little salty. He's about our age. He's our age.
Yeah, a lot more salt in that salt and pepper, and but he looks great.
Eric he looks great. We both looked fine, but it was this shock of like, oh my gosh, what are we even looking at here? Who are these two people? Right. It didn't look familiar to us, and I think that's what threw me. So whatever, selfie cameras they're dicks.
They're like borderline DMV cameras in their
Totally. But he wanted me to send his hello to everybody, and it's been a while since he's been in the thing, and I told him how much we love this thing right here.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, except for Stephanie, she hates it. She's probably
It's basically her. She actually just checked out as soon as you started playing that. She said, "I'm out."
Yeah.
Jerry.
Yeah, Matt. It's like funny enough, it's like Kramer when he hears Mary Hart's voice, just freaks out and falls over. But anyway, it was really fun and good to see them. If they're here, if they hear this, hope they had a safe flight back to New York. They had their boys with them. Their youngest AJ, who's now 17, is about to graduate next year. Mm-hmm. Some kind of little genius boy.
Really?
Like, he's having some of the most intelligent conversation I've ever had with a kid while playing this ultra hard rhythm game on his phone that looks like he's magically somehow, when you see somebody do Guitar Hero at the most extreme level and you're like, I don't know how on earth that person did that.
Yeah.
He's doing that totally. While going, yes, I believe I'm going to go to college for He's like this little genius kid.
Wow.
Really, really impressive. Anyway, it's fun to see them, and they had a good time while they were here.
Very cool.
I meant to ask you yesterday about because when you texted me, you texted me from the plane and said there was some medical emergency or something, and I was worried.
You had mentioned, hey, a little format change tomorrow, blah blah blah, and I'm like, oh yeah, cool. By the way, this is the first time I've ever been on a flight where this has happened, and because it happens so often in movies, you feel like it should happen more in real life than it does, but it's a nighttime flight, so what they do is once they get everybody on board, they do their spiel about how to make a seatbelt work, and then they let you know we're gonna take off here, and we're gonna dim the cabin lights. So if you need a little extra light, then you've got the little light button up above you, blah blah blah.
Sure.
And so everything kind of turns off, and that's when I hit play on the movie I'm watching. And about 5 minutes into it, the lights come back on, and there are 2 flight attendants in the middle of the plane, and one way up at the very front where the PA system is. And she gets on the PA and says, ladies and gentlemen, is there a doctor on this flight? If there is a doctor, please turn on your call button. Please ring your call button for us. Let us know if there is a doctor on this flight.
She very calm. She sounded very calm about it. Very
calm about it.
Yeah. That's
and
what you
we're
want.
like, oh man! So of course, everybody is doing that thing, where they're like the cubicle. Everybody peers over the tops of their cubicles to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Could not tell what was going on. However, they brought up the field kit and they were checking vitals and stuff, like a stethoscope and stuff like that. But the flight attendants were talking to the person in the seat and kind of laughing as they were talking to him. Like basically, we could tell that it wasn't there. It was urgent, but not life-threatening.
Yeah, they weren't like
serious.
out or having like full cardiac arrest or something.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. Did you have any temptation to raise your hand and go, "My dad's a doctor"?
I can get him on the phone if we need it.
He taught me CPR one time.
I actually did have that thought. Like, if they start going down the line, right? Okay, no doctors. Are there any PAs on the flight? Are there any are pharmacists on the plane? Are there any?
Yeah, we're down to nurses, and then eventually it's like family of medical professionals.
Right. Eventually it's family, and then it goes to, is there anybody who kind of claimed to have a medical degree on Facebook in the last 3 years? As an enterologist or as an epidemiologist or something.
Yeah, that's great. So they were fine, though, as far as you know? It all ended and lights went out
Yeah,
again,
all ended just fine. They did what they did. A doctor did ring their call button, got up there with them for a little bit, and was kind of, talking to the person in the seat. I couldn't even tell. I wasn't even 100% sure if it was which person in the row of 3 it was that needed medical attention. That's how non-serious it was. Like, they weren't hovering, like standing over somebody doing all this stuff. You could just see them kind of getting the field kit stuff out
and every plane has a load of that on the plane, right? They carry that. I mean, they have to.
Oh yeah, they have to have enough equipment to do some kind of rudimentary.
Yeah, if those Mexican restaurants have the chest plate things, what are they called? Defibrillators. If they have those, then I bet a plane has them. At least I would think.
I bet they do. Yeah. Yeah.
Clear, boom, like that.
Haven't we seen that in some movie? I mean, I know it's a movie, not real. I'm sure like every plane over a certain class has defibrillators on board.
Well, we've had this exact thing happen to us, but they didn't ask for doctors. They just started pulling out a kit and doing vitals on somebody without the question. Maybe I don't know how they would know, but maybe the manifest somehow tells
maybe.
you. I don't know.
Just
But then,
look down the line. Dr. Penelope Johnson. Okay.
maybe they already knew they had a doctor. That was probably it. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they just knew somebody was on there or whatever.
Right.
Somebody goes by Dr. Wilson or something.
Right. Exactly. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm a DJ.
Yeah. I'm a DJ.
I just use doctor ironically.
Yeah,
I'm not an actual doctor.
This is my rap stage name. Sorry.
That's right. Exactly.
I
I'm
don't think I
Dr.
can
Beat.
help.
Sorry, I'm not going to be able to help you with your.
I can drop some sick lyrics, but that's it. That's all I can do.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, I'm glad nobody was like in a big trouble. That would be bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody wants to be there when somebody dies on a plane.
No, for sure.
I know this has happened. There have been people, I think, in our audience who've written in before about this thing where somebody died on their plane and they had to stop somewhere I don't think you can go the full flight, especially if it's a long, like, international one. If you're close to, like, I don't know, on the West Coast, Alaska, you're just like, well, we're going to Anchorage to.
Right. That's where Tina and I were both worried about that. But said, oh man, I hope we don't get diverted. And then we both saw them, kind of like being more positive with the person up there. I'm like, okay, yeah. Whatever.
You're getting some laughs out of him. You're in pretty good shape. That's good.
One thing I also forgot to talk about yesterday, a couple things. First off, while we were in Asheville, we were right across the street from a newspaper that I visited in the late 90s called the Asheville Citizen-Times.
Oh, nice.
And that newspaper is, while it's still being produced, it's not being produced in that building anymore. It's actually being produced in Greenville, South Carolina, at the location of a sister paper. And they just kind of ship it up in the mornings and then deliver it to the 20,000 people who still get the newspaper in Asheville.
That's a low number. Is that a low number? Like if you're to, I don't know what circulation looks like these days.
It feels like a high number, but it's, it's people who say, no, I don't care about getting news right away from the internet. I'd like to know what happened yesterday, please.
Yeah.
But inside that building now is a record producer who's bought like the whole first floor and added a bar, a cafe, and a vinyl pressing plant called Citizen Vinyl.
What? That's
and
cool.
So we went in there. We saw something called Citizen Vinyl. I'm like, oh, guys, do you mind if we go across there and see if there's a record store in there? I won't buy anything because I don't have any place to put it. And Chuck and Amy are so nice. They're like, Brian, we can ship. If you buy something, we can ship it to you. It's totally fine. I'm like, oh, whatever. Let's just go in there. So we go in there, and in addition to a vinyl record store, on the left side, they've got this clear. Like this window that goes into this whole area that's like them pressing vinyl albums. You can sit there and watch them. And I look down and it's like, oh, free tour starting in 30 minutes. Oh. So it's like, great, let's do this. And we, we find the tour guide, say, hey, we know you only have 2 spots left. Is there any way we can do 4? Our friends are visiting from Denver. And she's like, oh, Denver. Oh, I'll totally do it because Denver comes up in my tour spiel in what I talked about. So
really?
I can kind of point to, I'm like, great, awesome. So we took this 1-hour tour, went up to the recording studios, saw the recording studios where old performers like Jimmy Dorsey and big band, used to perform up there, play on the radio.
Ooh,
and et cetera, and then watch them press a dozen Dr. John albums, like brand new.
Can you tell me this?
Vinyl.
Do they come in does the record that you eventually press, is it come in like a predefined like ball and then it gets mushed? A puck.
Yeah. So
okay.
they basically got this hopper that they put all these little vinyl pellets in of the color of the album you want to create. So whether it's clear, green, or red or whatever, these were just plain old black vinyl albums. All these pellets go in a hopper. They're heated up to 300 something degrees, and this machine extrudes it into about the size of a hockey puck.
Wow.
And somebody pulls it out with their gloved hand. They put it on the plates, and of course the plates are the 2 metal plates made from the acetate masters of the album. Mm-hmm. So they've got the imprint of the grooves and all that stuff.
Right.
This thing comes down, squeezes the that puck. Oh, before they do that, and this one's kind of surprised me.
Yeah.
Before they even put the puck on there, they take the B-side record label, put it face down on the thing, then put the puck, and then put the face up, or the side 1 record label on top of it. So
is the puck exactly the size of the label so that your pinhole?
Pretty close, yeah.
Because they have the pinhole, right? Yeah.
Yep, they have the pinhole, and that centers the labels on the pinhole.
Wow.
I always thought that they, the record labels probably got added afterwards by a machine that the records went through.
I assume so too. I would think it would. I mean, obviously, this is a little bit more of a boutique operation, which is kind of rad.
No, this is standard.
This is how it's done. Just period. This is how they do it.
Yeah, these guys have printed up albums for like Foo Fighters, and I'm trying to remember all the musicians that they ran off the list of, like, oh yeah, we've done 24,000 album runs for so and so, and this person, this other person.
That's cool.
And so we watch them, and so like it presses it down kind of like a little waffle press. And there's all that little extra goo on the outside of the record. Yeah. They pick up that record, put it on another thing that's like, it looks like a turntable with a knife on one side. The thing goes around a couple times, clears off that excess on the outside.
Yeah.
Guy picks it up, looks at it, puts it on a stack of other Dr. John albums.
Wow. That's cool. I don't know how I thought these were done. I assumed it was way more automated than a dude walking around.
They have 2 automatic machines and then 1 manual machine. And for large runs, they'll use all 3 machines all at once. But I'm guessing it's expensive for the artist to have multiple plates made, so they probably have a smaller run and just say, all right, here's one set of plates. Give me just 1,000 album run.
That's really cool. But the fact that they've got a cafe in there and like food and a bar.
A cafe, a bar. Yeah, we sat there. We had some coffee and some pastries. It was
awesome.
very, very nice.
Yeah.
And it's a free tour. So if you go to Asheville, totally worth it to do this 1-hour tour. Another tour in Asheville that I highly recommend is one that I think September found. And it's the Lazoom Comedy Horror Bus Tour. And now Tina, as I've mentioned, as we know, maybe mentioned on the show before, Tina is big on the what's the scariest thing in this town, or what's the creepiest part of town, and she wants to go, walk through graveyards. We walked through the graveyard in Savannah. It was really cool. And she wants to see the houses that are supposedly haunted and have ghosts and have had a dozen murders and stuff like that.
Sure.
And so this bus tour was one that again I think September found, and it was high on the comedy. We talked about this guy. You saw a photo of the guy with the black.
Oh, the black under eye guy
eyes.
yesterday that we talked about.
Yeah.
No.
Here's what we didn't talk about though, was all the weird references that came up during the drive. So we're sitting there, the tour is starting, and the woman who I talked about yesterday, who did all the different actor roles and came out and hi everybody, I'm crazy Zelda Fitzgerald, and I'm drunk, and that's how I died from this and the consumption and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And but she kind of also did the warm up to introduce Mr. Bones, and she's like, looks at the guy sitting in front of me, who was not part of the TMS group. We had pretty much most of the bus except for like 4 poor people who got stuck on here. Yeah, sure. And she looks at him and says, "Sir, have you ever heard of a phrase called commit to the bit?"
Whoa.
And the rest of us, the 14 TMS people are like, "Oh, that was Rob in front of." Oh, it was, right. Yeah, you and Rob were in front of us. That's right. She says, "Have you heard the phrase commit to the bit?" And the rest of us are like, "What the hell? How does she know?"
It's a little too familiar
on this?
Yeah, that's weird.
And she goes and unbuttons one of Rob's, the second button on Rob's shirt, and says, "Come on, commit to the bit." And the rest are like, "Oh wow, funny." And then as we're going along in the tour, but Mr. Bones does this thing where he's like, and then this was back in the Civil War days, and he starts playing the exact Dear Martha music.
Oh, I bet.
Like not just another sound alike. And
this
we all go
right here.
"Ah!" Yep.
This actual music. Wow.
Exactly that one.
That's
and
great.
we all go, "Oh!" And he's like, "Oh, good. I see we have some Ken Burns fans in the house."
Little do they know.
Well, sort of. Yeah, I guess so. I think there was a third weird connection reference, and I can't remember what it was, but there was some third thing that made us all go like, "Did Scott call ahead and tell these guys?"
It does feel like somebody's messing with you, but I didn't do that. I wonder if so the thing Jenny says, maybe she got that from, maybe that's a more common phrase than
it's a more common phrase. Yeah, I mean, it definitely. Jenny didn't invent that phrase, but she put it into all of our heads, and rightly so, because it needs to be followed, adhered to, and trusted by anyone who does any sort of podcast presentation.
Yeah, I think you do anything in life, you got to commit. Commit to that bit. That's great.
Yeah, Natalie or September. I don't see Red Fraggle in here. Do you guys remember what the other reference was? It seemed like there was a third reference that we're all like, God, how is this person
Yeah, because
knowing-
one thing you're
knowing
like,
frog
oh
pants.
wow, one thing that's a
Right,
coincidence.
exactly.
Second one's like, wait a minute. Third one's like,
Exactly.
okay, who's we're getting trolled.
Something is paranormal here. Something's going on because you don't get
This is happening to where what we do in the dungeon, or where? Sorry, what we do in the dungeons.
What we do in the dungeons.
What's wrong with me?
There will be dungeons.
Dinosaurs. There will be dungeons. We have about 5 or 6 things that have shown up in Baldur's Gate 3 that are, we swear to you, 100% feel like they've been pulled from our campaign.
Yeah,
And,
really.
Like, my character had a dragon heart. I've never seen that in any kind of D&D module.
Yeah.
There's a character with this heart. There's a whole bunch of other references, and it's weirding us the F out. Also, we found out a bunch of voice actors on the game listen to core. We didn't know that.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
So we're starting to it's scratching our head. So it's like what you're telling me sounds about right for my week. It feels like there's just like some weird connections going on, and it may be all coincidence, but it sure feels weird. Anyway, well, let's see what they say. Hey, I got a story.
Anyway.
I got a story for you. Do you remember back in the day? We heard this story even when we were kids, that Magnum PI, aka
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck, was supposed to be Indiana Jones. He was offered the job, and then didn't take the job because something to do with Magnum PI. And I'd heard that story a bunch of times. I was like, oh, that's weird. That would have been weird if Harrison Ford wasn't that character. But I never really put a lot of credence to it because I just thought it was a apocryphal story that nerds would tell each other about their favorite movie, and it was just no big deal. Well, I found this audio of Tom Selleck talking about this very thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's super interesting, and also made me really like the guy. So anyway, here it is. I'll just play it for everybody. Check it out.
I tested for Indiana Jones and got the job. Stephen and George, my newest pals at the time, offered me the job, and I said, well, I've done this pilot. And they said, well, thanks for telling us. Most actors wouldn't do that, but we got cards to play with CBS. And turned out CBS wouldn't let me do it. They held the offer out for about a month. Harrison Ford hates to hear this, and Harrison, this is your role, and you're indelible in it, so it's just an interesting story. But yeah, I mean, look, I signed a deal for Magnum. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm proud that I lived up to my contract. Some people said, you got to get in the car and drive into a brick wall and get injured and get out of Magnum and do this. And I said, I got to look my mom and dad in the eye, and we don't do that. So I did Magnum. It's not so bad, is it?
I think that is such a great telling of that story.
It is,
for a bunch of reasons. One, he gives Harrison Ford the credit that's due him, and does it in a very graceful way. And at the same time, he's acknowledging that it was a major thing that he missed doing because of this contract. But I also like the integrity of it all. Well, I'm going to fulfill the thing I committed to, so I'm going to do it.
He seems like that kind of guy, right? Like the kind of guy that the characters that he plays share. Human qualities. Is just a decent dude.
Yeah, good man. And the thing is, people say, oh, that movie would have been so different. I don't know. I think he might have been fine.
Yeah.
He might have been great, in fact. And
Alamo Drafthouse, and I'm sure it's on YouTube as well, Alamo Drafthouse showed test footage when we saw Dial of Destiny at Drafthouse the 30 minutes before. One of the things they showed was Tom Selleck doing a test footage or test video of the character, and I can't remember if it was Karen Allen. I think it might have still been Karen Allen that he was,
or at least somebody who was also trying out to be her or stood in for her or something.
I think so, yeah. And it was like, oh wow, that's cool. But now I feel like this could be, we're not far from somebody saying, oh yeah, I've used AI to do the entirety of Raiders of Lost Ark and replace Harrison Ford with Tom Selleck.
It might already exist, honestly.
It might already exist.
Or at least a scene. Somebody's taken a scene and swapped voice. I've already seen this with other stuff, so I know they can do it.
They can do it, yeah. So we have the technology now to do it, but has anybody taken the time to do it? I'd be interested to see. Or maybe I wouldn't be interested to see. But
here it is. Tom Selleck, Indiana Jones deepfake. Oh, weird. Really? Brian, you got to see this. Okay.
All right, put it in.
Send you this. This is just a scene like you figured they would only do. But it's him fighting the sword guy in Raiders.
Okay.
And it's freaky real looking. Oh my gosh. All right, here. So Chad, I'm going to show you this. I'm probably going to not record it though. So for later YouTube people,
not.
so I'm going to pop.
I would too.
You know, just to be, I'm just curious about it.
Oh, they even do bring back the stones. Although that scene they didn't replace, they still have the side of Harrison Ford's face when he talks to the dudes. You
can see it though. You could see it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's easy to say, oh, that'd be so different. Also because you don't know any better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if this is all you had ever seen, you wouldn't even think about it. You would go, you'd hear, oh, Harrison Ford almost got the job. Han Solo? Well, I can't even picture that. I mean, you would have the same problem. That's the way our brains work.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think there would be a level. I love Tom Selleck, don't get me wrong, but after seeing King Solomon's Mines, right? Am I thinking of the right thing?
With him? He wasn't in that. That was
not King Solomon. What was the one he did that was like Indiana Jones? That was
Quigley Down Under. Was that it?
Quigley Down Under. That's what I'm thinking of. Yes.
Yeah.
After seeing that, there's a level of camp that I think he would have instilled in Indiana Jones that that we didn't want. We didn't want that.
Yeah, and he even says, like right here, where is it?
Right? Richard Chamberlain was the.
Where is the?
No, who was it?
Yeah, it was Richard Chamberlain. You're right.
Richard Chamberlain. Yeah.
Here we go.
I tested for let me do it.
Hold on.
Harrison, this is your role and you're indelible in it, so it's just an interesting story.
Yes, I mean that's the truth of it. Like, the end result is he is our Indiana Jones. It's worked out for the best for everybody, and he's even saying that. Yeah. But I like Tom Selleck.
Oh, I do too. I think, I think there had been a little bit of it definitely would have been a different thing, and I'm glad we got the thing that we got.
Yeah, we got what we got, and we get what we get. How about that?
Yeah.
All right. We are going to now do some news.
Yeah, we should totally do that. We've taken enough of your damn time.
Here's how I know. Because this played. Oh, weird. Perfect timing. It's the news, and it's brought to you by...
I love this, the Draper City Swarmball League.
That's right. So that's the Draper City is the little kid 4-year-old soccer league that Van's in. Yeah. And Swarmball was coined by listener and pal of the show Michael Miller, aka Joe Uncool on Twitter /x.com. Anyway, he's the one that coined it yesterday. He says, the tradition of watching youth soccer, which at this age is more properly called swarmball, and he is so correct. All they do is just swarm around this ball like it's a nucleus to a larger proton or something, and they're all just like swarming around it. No one really scores anything. It's just ridiculous and stupid. But anyway, love that, so we decided to use it today. So thanks for that. Speaking of kids, at least 2 children have suffered injuries after going down slides covered in bear spray. Oh no!
Oh no!
Yeah, don't put bear spray on your slides, you idiots.
Is the stuff that repel, it's like mace for bears, right? Like it's the stuff you spray at a bear to get them to.
It's that, or it's the
away.
stuff to keep them away
Repel
in general. Like something you'd spray, like say you have a campsite and you spray your, I don't know, you got a cooler full of food.
Yeah.
You'd spray the cooler and it puts them off.
I think it's the there's a bear, spray it.
Oh, is it that stuff?
Yeah.
They don't get into it. They just call it spray in here, so who knows what they're doing. But you're probably right.
Yeah.
The city has closed off 2 large slides located at the playground in Twin Lakes Park after at least 2 kids suffered injuries after going down the slide, believed to be vandalized and covered in bear spray. So it wasn't like an official application of the spray. Some kids did it.
It was, somebody did it on purpose. Oh, whoever this person is really needs to be
little bastards did.
pinned down to a chair and have a little bit of bear spray sprayed at them.
Just a little bit. Just a little.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Just the really stinky, make your eyes burn a little bit kind of
right,
kind of spray.
I know. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe eye for an eye is not appropriate.
You just want to scare them, that's all, and I get that.
I do. You know what? Yeah. Hold the spray in front and then go with your mouth. and then watch him go.
Watch him flinch.
See?
Yeah. Yep. We're only trying to do psychological damage here, people. All right.
Right. Exactly. Just psychological damage.
Totally
not
fine.
Physical damage.
According to Michelle Effers, great name, or Elfers. Sorry, it's Elfers. Mother Elfers. Deputy Director of the City and Borough of Juneau Parks and Recreation Department.
Or Juno. Yeah.
Juneau? Did I say? Oh, I guess it's not like Juneau, Alaska, though. It's a different kind of Juneau. Anyway.
Is this not? This is not Juneau, Alaska. Where is this?
I don't know.
Twin Lakes Park. I assumed when I saw Juneau in there that this is.
It's definitely spelled wrong.
Juneau, Alaska.
Because even their website's spelled wrong. Because Juneau, Alaska is Juno, isn't it?
No, it's Juneau. Just
it
like
is?
this. Yeah, it's not spelled like the Roman Jupiter.
Hold on. I'm having a serious.
Let's hold
brain
while
fart.
Scott Googles to make sure.
No, I'm not saying you're lying. I'm saying I
You're doing
think
this
I'm
to make
going
sure you're not
crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I am going crazy. Hold on a second. Is this for real? I was just in Alaska and saw signs. I swear, has my brain translated this to say Juno when I see it? Am I thinking of the email app when we were in like our 20s? Remember Juno?
I wonder if you're thinking of the Canadian awards, the Juno Awards.
Shit. That is one of the most hardcore Mandela things I've ever had.
Apparently so, yeah. You know what the coincidentally, the most popular food item though in Juneau is carbonated meat.
That one I'm still standing by until I get proof it doesn't exist. I need
Those
proof.
heels are planted. Yes.
I need proof, damn it. I'm the funny thing is I'm the one that should be required to bring the proof and I can't find any, but someone somewhere needs to find me some carbonated meat. I know it exists.
Yeah, we have an idea. We talked about it at the Tadpole meetup. We have an
what's
idea
the
on how to
theory?
make you some carbonated meat.
What's
that?
that? You're gonna make
We're
it
gonna
and
make
try
it
it
for you.
Oh
Yeah,
shit! Who's doing this? Who's in charge? Do you know?
I can't remember if Amy or September brought it up, but we have a recipe that we're gonna talk to Kim about making for you.
All right, I'll try it. I'll do it.
Yeah.
This blows my mind, so I'm really freaked out. All right, so they're in Alaska. Is that spelled the way I think it is, man?
And that's spelled Alaska.
What? I thought it was. Well, anyway, according to these people, somebody did that, and that's mean, and don't do that. Okay?
Yeah,
these kids get hurt.
Yeah.
They slide really hard, and they had to go. Oh, there's some kid had just a reaction to it. Didn't even have
I'm sure.
the slippy.
I mean, it's pepper spray, basically, is what it is. So.
Yeah, you're trying.
And they found the empty can in the trash can near the park.
Great.
So maybe they can hopefully. Oh, look at the. Do you see who the lieutenant's name? The Juneau Police Department lieutenant.
Crag
Campbell.
Crag Campbell.
Crag Krag.
Somebody get Crag Campbell on the case.
We have a news story with a Star Trek connection today. Is Crag Campbell.
Crag Campbell. The Campbell part's a little weird for an alien.
The Klingons.
Yeah, and Juno looks alien to me, so it's perfect. We nailed
Yeah,
it.
there you go. Yeah.
I cannot believe that. I'm sort of shaken from it. I swore for my whole life, Juno. I'm picturing episodes of Northern Exposure where they spell it that way.
Really?
I'm sure
Weird.
they didn't,
Okay.
but I have it in my head that they
You
did.
have it in your head that, yeah, gotcha.
Man, I think that Juno email in the 90s ruined me because that was spelled with it. I think that might have been it, for real.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. A bunch of you submitted this, so thanks to everyone who did.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks a lot.
A live worm found in an Australian woman's brain. It's the first time.
That's not a worm.
First time ever, by the way. This is a world first discovery. It was a fairly regular day on the ward of the Canberra Hospital infectious disease physician Dr. Sanjira Senanayake.
Senanayake, maybe?
Something. Until a neurosurgeon colleague called him and said, OMG, you wouldn't believe what I found in this lady's brain. It's alive and wriggling. Anyway, they pulled out an
Simple Minds song. Alive and wriggling. Something in my brain.
There you go. It's like we're pulling that musical era has coming up on the show a lot today.
It has. Yeah, it totally has.
8-centimeter long parasite roundworm from her brain. They weren't quite sure what to do. A 64-year-old woman from southeastern New South Wales was admitted to a local hospital in late January, suffering 3 weeks of abdominal pain and diarrhea. Oh, what do you got there? Is that the length?
That's 8 centimeters right there.
Shit.
Like a little shorter than a cigarette.
I don't like it, Brian. No, I don't. Do you want to have that in your brain? No, you don't.
I don't want to have that. I don't want to have it any size in my brain. Like a 1 centimeter live wriggling worm in my brain would not be good.
She also had constant dry cough, fever, and night sweats, all from this thing. By the year 2022, her symptoms also included forgetfulness and depression, prompting a referral to the hospital she was in. The MRI scan of her brain revealed abnormalities requiring surgery, but they didn't see the worm in that process. So they went in there, did the operation. Here's the quote. The neurosurgeons certainly didn't go in there thinking they would find a wriggling worm. Just picture Rob Riggle. Isn't that weird? It's just a little face on there.
That's great. Now I am too.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it's impossible not to. Neurosurgeons
regularly
regularly.
face.
That's the face.
That's the face.
I love that guy.
I do too.
They say they regularly deal with infections of the brain, but this was once in a career finding. No one was expecting to find that. She's going to be okay. They got it out, but they don't know how it got in there. I read later in the article. They don't know what gets a worm into your head like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just
snorting. What did you snort to cause that to happen?
No kidding. Also, another parallel to Baldur's Gate 3. Anyone who's playing it knows that the whole point of that game is that you and all your companions have a parasite in your eye, a wriggling worm that was put in your eye by nefarious means. I don't want to give too much away.
You're gonna make me buy this thing, aren't you, Scott?
I mean, look, do you like really long, involved, potentially hundreds of hours RPGs? Do you like those?
I mean, how many hours do I think I'm in Hyrule with this Zelda game?
Yeah,
probably not hundreds of hours. But,
wouldn't call it an RPG though. Like games where it's like tons of dialogue trees, lots of decision making, turn-based combat.
Yeah.
If you like that stuff, you'll love this game.
Yeah. Okay.
But if
I do, and maybe, but okay. I think it looks like something I can wait on then. The
PS5 version comes out next week or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
6th, I think. So that might be when to grab it.
Okay.
I played with controller quite a bit because I play it on the Steam Deck as well, and it's great on controller. Works good. It's a really amazing game.
Because you're choosing your path. Like you're saying, oh, I'm going to play this. I'm going to use this spell, or I'm going to choose this thing that I'm going to say to the person that we just came across.
Yeah, and you are literally playing D&D. Like it's dice rolls. It's a lot of stuff happens in the background. Like when you're doing like perception dice rolls, those are just happening as you're moving around the world. But when you are in a situation where you need to convince something of something, you might have to do a persuasion roll, and it'll roll a d20. You literally click in that d20, making it do its thing. You have maybe bonus rolls you can add to it. Add a d4 from what's her name, who can give you helping hand. What is it? It's whatever it is. But anyway, it's definitely like 5th edition rules D&D, the video game. Really.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, best reviewed game in history, I think. It beat Tears of the Kingdom this year. Tears of the Kingdom broke the record, and then this came along and broke that. But they're totally different games. Like Tears of the Kingdom is very actiony and all that. Moving on to moving on to take a break. That's what we're gonna do.
Oh, let's move on to break.
Let's go to break. When we come back from break, we will have our old pal Bill here. Bill Duran will join us. We're going to talk about making stuff. Brian's got a little maker thing he wants to talk to us about as well. Right? Did you bring that with you? Is it in the other room?
I did. I have one right there. I can grab it.
Awesome.
I can show it.
Cool.
On the stream.
Looking forward to that. Hey, Brian, before we do that, though, can you play a little song or something?
Yes, I can.
Right.
We're going to look at the an LA power pop new wave band. That's right. Listen to this. Called the Uni Boys. Uniboys, 2 words. Produced by Michael and Brian Daddario of the Lemon Twigs, and it's going to be released in October, the middle of October, on Curation Records. So you got a little bit of time to wait for the full album. That's all right. You're going to want to play this over and over and over again. It is the lead-off single to the brand new album. It is called, the new album is called Buy This Now. Perfect.
Nice.
The single is called 2 Years. Here are the Uniboys.
From our experiences with many people, we have tried to bring out misconceptions and facts not well understood and tried to explain them on a scientific basis.
Next up, the Johnsons. When their water line broke, they paid over $2,600.
And we're back. Hey, I wrote down the name, but I'd like you to tell everyone else who this was.
I'll tell you how to pronounce it because I know you wrote it down, but you're not sure you got it.
I probably
right.
spelled it wrong. I guess I can almost guarantee that.
This is a band called the Uniboys, Uniboys, and a brand new single called 2 Years. This comes from their upcoming album, Buy This Now, which comes out in the middle of October.
Nice. I have a prediction. We're going to hear from people who live in Juneau who are going to tell us that this happens all the time.
I bet easily. You're definitely not the only person who.
I'm going to feel better about it when they do, though. I'm going to feel better because right now I feel like an idiot. My whole life.
That Elliot Page movie probably, swayed a lot of people into thinking that's how you pronounce it.
That's another one. That's another one. That's exactly right. I think I took the pop culture presentations of the name Juno and twisted it, and just it stayed there. And even when I'm in Juneau, Alaska, and I'm seeing signs, it's not clicking with me. So weird.
You're like, look at that weird, funny French spelling of Juno. That's funny. They should fix that.
So effed up. All right. Bill Duran time. You know him. You know what's up.
I do know him, yeah.
Yeah, he's a good dude. We're going to add him to the group here.
Good dude.
Goodest of dudes, really. Of all the dudes, he's one of the good ones.
There's still something wrong, isn't there, Bill?
Hey, look who it is. It's Bill Duran joining us, as he does quite often here on the show on a Tuesday, to talk about the world of makers and making things. And he hails, of course, from the Seattle area, from a little company called punishprops.com. Bill, it's good to have you back.
Good morning.
Are you you're in full Dragoncon mode, right? I assume.
Oh, yeah, no kidding.
You better believe it. In fact, I need to make something from scratch today.
Oh,
do you really? Like, is this the? Oh, we need something for cosplay for Thursday. I guess let's make an entire stormtrooper.
Yeah, you got to do the whole thing. But you probably have a plan. I know you well enough to know you got ideas, right?
I have a plan, and I have a laser cutter.
Whoa,
so, cool. Those are the only two things you need.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm set.
That's awesome. Well, tell us what's going on. It's been a while. We want to hear. We want to be inspired by whatever the heck you're working on. Oh, before we do that, Brian, you had something you wanted to show off, and then
yeah. Well, Bill did a great job of showing this off on Twitter yesterday. But this is the Philaminder.
Philaminder.
I came up with the damn name, and I should be able to remember it. I just wanted a name for it, so I'm like Philaminder. But this is a spring-loaded filament holder that you put inside your filament roll to keep the filament from getting pulled out. And the whole reason I did this, and there's a great thing that I learned from Bill, is that most things like this come from the necessity of, well, I don't like putting the extra filament through the holes on the side because they often break and then things get tangled up, or making those little 3 clips that you print on the side. Those are great until you put your filament into a shelf where you've got other pieces of filament, and that clip just gets popped off because it rubs against the side of another roll of filament. So I wanted something completely self-contained within the walls of the filament roll.
That's awesome.
So I put it up on my site, Coverville 3D. You can coverville3d.com/shop. You can buy the STL. I made it dumb cheap just to make sure, if you had any thought that you're going to want to print this thing at some point, it's $150. It's like cheap. And there's 2 versions, one for resin printers, one for filament printers. Or hell, I'll print them for you. Made it super cheap too. I'll do 8 of these for you for like $15 with the magnets and all that stuff.
Nice. Very cool.
Sales pitch over.
Yeah, I like it. And also, I just like the practicality of it. I think that's really great.
Yeah.
Which is the whole point, I guess. Yeah.
So I printed one yesterday, and even though I printed it on my FDM printer, I did the one that's meant for resin.
Oh, you did? So the one you showed in that video is from an FDM printer?
Yeah, and it did struggle a little bit with some of the smaller pieces, but it still worked.
Oh, it looks great. Yeah. Okay,
still
good.
Worked.
Good.
So worth experimenting with. I think it's great. I love seeing 3D printed inventions. And it's a neat little thing. I'm going to probably print some more for... I've been doing a lot of FDM printing, and I have lots of rolls. And
lots
of
unfinished rolls.
Tangled. Yeah.
Yeah, my guess is that's a lot of people, a lot of 3D printers, probably people sitting around going, man, all these rolls, what am I going to do? How do I...
Exactly.
Where's the...
How do I keep them from getting tangled? How do I,
Yeah.
Because, Yeah, well, cool. Well, thank you.
Yeah,
cool
very nice
stuff. Keep up the good work.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Will do.
All right, Bill, what are you doing, man? What's going on this week?
I have a bunch of stuff to catch you guys up on because I have been busy. The first thing, super quick, Brittany and I started our own Discord server as sort of my way of maybe weaning myself off of Twitter. Maybe I like the idea of having a place where I can have where the topics of discussion are my choice.
Yeah.
So if anyone out there is interested in hanging out with people who just want to talk about making things and creativity and sharing the stuff they're working on and asking questions and getting help, I just tweeted out the link. I don't have a custom link yet, but if you go check out twitter.com/chinbeard, you'll see a link to Discord where you can join us. We also share a lot of animal photos.
Oh,
that's something else I want to both share and see.
I can say after pretty concerted effort in the last year or so to make our Discord a much more the place to go instead of just social media du jour. It's worked out really well. I love how our Discord is these days. You guys are going to build something rad. I'm excited about that for you.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm thinking at some point maybe of starting a gaming server of some kind. We've been playing Valheim again, so I might start a Valheim server, and that would be a great place to sort of coordinate that. We'll see. I have plans.
Nice.
But so far, we've got a handful of people in there just really enjoying talking about making stuff. But also we have a channel for Dragoncon specifically, because we'll do a meetup, and while we are there, I want to have a place to talk to everyone else who's there.
Nice.
About Dragoncon stuff.
Very nice. Love it.
So we have been busy. Like I said, we have made several videos since we last spoke, and I'm going to go through them very quickly here.
All right.
First of all, you guys were talking about Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, yeah.
Britt's been playing it a whole bunch. It is really cool. We were contracted by Larian Studios to do a sponsored video and build something from the game.
What?
Oh, cool.
Dude,
oh yeah,
that's cool. Let's hear all about this. I didn't know this, so I can't wait to hear what it is.
So all of these videos are obviously over at punishprops.com. You can see there or on our YouTube page. We made the artifact that Shadowheart is carrying around. It is an icosahedron or a D20, but it's got like spiky things on it and it glows from the inside. We built ours out of foam, and we used a foam called Plastizote that is white, but it allows light through it. So we stuffed that thing full of LEDs so that when you turn them on, the light leaks through the white foam part, and it glows from the inside, and it looks really cool.
That's awesome, dude. She's by the way, so you can romance all the characters in this game, multiple characters if you want. She's I am devoted to Shadowheart. I don't care about anyone else. She's my favorite. She's awesome. I even interact with the voice actor. It's not creepy or anything, but she's very nice also. But man, that character's real good. She's real good. Totally my type. But anyway, that's great. Yeah, this little device you have, I won't give anything away, but it's a very mysterious thing in that game, especially early going, so you're not really sure what the crap you got there.
Yeah, I don't even know what it is yet. Britt's still working through Act 1, so we have no idea what it is. But we made it, and you can make it too. We made patterns for it if you would like to go build one yourself out of foam. And this is a really good build if you're a beginner, because it doesn't use a lot of foam. You don't even have to put lights into it. You could just paint it to look like it's all lit up. So,
Let me ask you a question, because one of the things that makes it unique, if you think of a 20-sided die, it's the edge or the sides are flat. This thing has a concaveness to each side. That sounds hard to do in a solid piece of foam. How did you do that and not have it look all jank?
So the angles, they're triangles that we cut out, and the edges are cut at an angle. And I figured out what would be the best angle to get them to lean in slightly. And then with foam, you can heat up the piece of foam and form it a little bit. So I formed it over a sphere so that it's dished a little bit. And then once I glued them all together, they maintain that shape.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That looks hard to do it uniformly, I guess is what I'm getting at. You know,
it's not too bad when you glue it together. They all sort of press themselves into a uniform shape.
Right. Okay.
Well,
that's cool.
Because
you think about, well, during the digital process, or even with pen and ruler, you can mathematically everything can be identical, but the minute you have to make that physical, that just seems like a handful. So I'm impressed that you figured out a way to do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Next build, we did a collaboration with our friends over at Film Riot. They wanted to do a video showing how to film miniature spaceships the same way that Industrial Light and Magic would do it. So they sent us a toy of the Millennium Falcon. It's about 10 inches long, so sort of a small-ish toy. They send it to us because while toys are getting really good at model, they're generally painted hastily.
Yeah, right. Factory painted.
It's just a machine painted.
Doesn't look
stuff.
screen ready or anything.
Yeah.
Sure. So we took that toy and I did a couple of things. The first thing I did was I added some mounting points to it with 1/4-20 screw holes so that they could screw them onto whatever film equipment they want.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, that was fun. I machined some parts so they could both attach it from the top or the bottom, and then they could hide those parts if they aren't being used. So you could film it from the top or the bottom. And then we went over and repainted the whole thing just to give it a fresh paint job.
I'm looking at that paint job that's on there, the out of the box, and it just looks like overly wet paintbrush with dirt on it.
Yeah. Yeah. So they put like logos and text and stuff. They usually get pretty well, but it's the nuance when it comes to weathering that gets rough.
Right. Yeah.
So we were able to go in, and it didn't take too long, but we were able to go in and really, really refine that. And I'm super proud of how it turned out. So that's another really fun project. If you're a beginner, get a toy spaceship from the store and just give it a new paint job. Really fun. You don't need a ton of tools. You could do it all by hand. I did some airbrushing, just some light airbrushing that helped. And especially if you want to get into airbrushing, this would be a great one to get started on.
That looks awesome.
All right, third project, third and most recent. We just put out a new video yesterday. So for Dragoncon, my friends and I are doing a group costume, which are so much fun. We're going obscure. We are dressing as the TGRI scientists from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah, we talked about this. You talked about it when it was still in its infancy, but look, you went ahead and did it. I think you weren't totally sure yet, right? Or you hadn't totally decided.
We're committed. We have the orange jumpsuits. We have hard hats. I'm building a giant dandelion today for that.
Okay, awesome.
And then I made badges for everyone. So we talked about this last time, and I put up a video showing how to make badges for your costumes. And a lot of it's done in the program Inkscape, which is like Illustrator, but it's free. I even have a video course on Inkscape over on our store if you want to learn more about that. But I went through the whole process. We took photos of all our friends to put into the badges, and I made some legit looking badges. And I'm happy with how they turned out.
That's great. I can't wait for the group photos and all this stuff.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yep.
Yeah. So
yeah, that is actually my favorite thing from Dragoncon every year when I don't go, which is most of the time, but is seeing the photos you send back, like with all the your costumes, or cosplay, but also the folks that you pose with, and the people you show. It's like, oh, they you guys are all so massively talented at that thing.
Yeah, I do like how this is a little low key though. This particular one.
Not everyone's gonna get it, and we have another one, and I'll just tell you because you're not going to be there to see it. You know the meme of Hela from Thor Ragnarok and Taika Waititi, the director?
Yeah, when it's always like when your mom looks at your artwork or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So Brittany got a Hela costume for like $30 on eBay. And I got the same outfit as Taika, and I'm going to have my iPad. Oh my and we're just going to stand there, and I'm going to be showing her my iPad. And I bet
great.
like 5 people are going to get it, and they're going to think it's amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's
for those
great.
who don't know what this meme is, I don't know how you even search for it, but search for Hela Taika Waititi meme or something, and you'll.
Yeah.
It's one of the most it's the gift that kept on giving after somebody first used it. Mm-hmm. It's really good. That's great. Very cool, man. I'm excited. This is when? It's like a week or.
This is in 2 days.
Shit. 2 days.
Wow.
Yep.
All right. Look at you freaking sandbagging a wad of content before you leave.
Oh, yeah.
No kidding.
Then I'm going to take all of next month off so I can play Starfield.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited. That thing is, for early access starts like in a couple of days if you buy the expensive version. But then Game Pass and every other purchase version will be on the 6th, I think.
Uh-huh.
But that's going to consume my soul.
I got the expensive version.
Yeah, you did.
I got the watch with the case.
Of course you did. And you're probably going to take that out and make it cooler than when it came to you or something. The thing is, though, it's like all everybody wants to talk about is Baldur's Gate 3, but we're about to get another AAA freaking banger, hopefully.
It's got to be bonkers.
This year is insane.
Finish the Baldur's Gate in the next 2 days. Comes Starfield, that's gonna consume
right. That
our
game
television.
gets put on hold. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's something you're never going to come back to if you don't do it.
I was saying this on Core. It's just like that's all I'm going to want to do. So I didn't get the expensive one because it's a $30 to play it early. That just seems like a lot, And your version's different though. You're getting physical stuff. You're getting the watch. You're getting all that.
It was
that's
like
cool.
$300.
Yeah. That's a whole different bag of cheese. But
yeah,
in my case, I'm really on the fence about the $30, and I don't know why. I know I want to play it early, but I don't. Do I really? I'd probably be okay till the 6th. Get a little more Baldur's Gate done.
There you go.
Get some Power Wash Simulator under my belt. I've been playing a bit of that. Anyway, Bill, it's always good to hear from you. PunishProps.com is the place to go. Check out Punish Props YouTube channel where all this content is today. It's really good stuff.
Before you go, do you have a link for us?
Oh, yeah. Give us a little thing. Bonus.
Film Riot, they put up their video for our collaboration. So head on over to their channel. Check out their video on filming Star Wars with miniatures.
Nice.
So you can see how our Falcon looks up on the big screen. And they did a great job. They're so cool. I love those guys.
Those guys are rad. And always good to see when you guys are doing some crossover. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's Bill Duran. If you're in the somewhere in the Atlanta area during Dragoncon, look for a guy in a yellow jumper looking thing with a helmet and a name tag.
Come say hi.
Yeah, come say hi to him. Make your own meme with Bill Duran. Bill, have a fantastic week and enjoy the con, and we'll see you next time.
Later, friends.
Bye, Bill. Oh, it won't hang up.
I've got Bill's link up on quicktms.li as well as the recommendals from last week, which I thought once I got to the cabins, I'd just go ahead and post it, and I never got around to it.
Well,
Had everything I need to do it, but I didn't do it.
It's fine. Look, you're going there to have a good time. Let Dunaway bring 400 pounds of crap from the 80s. Let him do all
Which
that.
I had to haul in, by the way. I had to help him load in his 2017-inch CRT television and his VCR and his rewinder and his turntable.
Yeah, that's a lot of crap, man. He's so committed to that stuff, though.
He is, but you know what? It's you can tell it's a labor of love, and he loves it.
Yeah,
so
he's got passion for it, which is, you can't. Maybe not everybody can say they got passion for stuff, but he can.
No, yes, for sure.
Real quick to end things today, we have a call from Amy. She actually sent this before you guys went, which will explain some of what she says here. But she had a thought about a news story we covered last week, so here it is.
Hey, Scott and Brian. This is for TMS, and this is Amy. And you guys are missing. I was just listening back to today's show. It's Monday, by the way, and you guys were talking about the lady with the Doc Ock arms thing. You guys are missing the most obvious application, which is for puppeteers. I mean, the octopus is actually the mascot of the Puppeteer Association of America. So there you go. I have given you a practical application for such a thing. And have a good week, guys.
Oh, I forgot. I edited out the part where she says, and I look forward to seeing you there, Brian, because it just seemed weird posting it after the fact. I forgot I took it out. So that's all it was. So she was looking forward to seeing you.
She was looking forward? Okay,
she was.
Good. Because, well, gosh, that changes everything, the way I treated those two. Because I wasn't sure they were looking forward to seeing me, and boy, I was really mean.
I know. Well, so I took it out, and this is an extra level of caution. I didn't want to cause any more problems. But anyway, she's right. And I didn't know that why would an octopus be the logo of the Puppetry Association?
Because it's got all the arms, all the many arms, so you can do a whole puppet. Well, this is my guess. Somebody can confirm it, but I'm guessing just because you've got all the extra appendages to do more puppets.
I guess so. Well, then she's right. This is the utopia we've all been waiting for puppets.
For sure.
All you need is one person wearing that, and then one David Bowie, and you got yourself a Labyrinth 2.
That's all you need.
Yep.
That's all you need.
That's it.
Oh, no more David Bowies though. We've run out. Along the way from Atlanta to Asheville and back, we passed in one of the towns a Piggly Wiggly, and of course, both ways, Amy had to do her pig deals are happening at the Piggly Wiggly, like her
voiceover.
voice.
I love that thing.
And she turned it on in like a split second, and it was just like, wow, just right into it, and it's so funny.
That's great.
That live.
Love that. I found an old file from her back. You remember back when we were on the what did we call that weird little consortium group of podcasts we're all together? We
Pod
had
show or Mevio or
no, it was something we all said on our shows. It was like, you're listening to the Pod something network.
Tripod?
It's on. That's it. Tripod.
Was Len Peralta's deal, yeah.
Yeah, and let's see if I can find it. I don't know where I put these files. I found some really old audio of various people, and Amy's one of them.
Oh, funny. Wow.
Doing this Tripod network. It's on. Or whatever. What a weird time.
Netcasts you love from people you trust. We've given up on this.
We no longer push for this weird idea.
We've quit trying to make netcasts a thing.
That's right, Brian Ibbotson. We don't do it anymore.
Now it's Brian Abbott. That's the
now you're Brian Abbottson. Sorry.
I'm Brian Abbott.
You say Abbott or
Brian
Abbottson?
Abbott,
I don't remember now.
I think just Abbott, Brian Abbott. Oh, well, Brian Abbott's still doing Coverville, but
I have it
listen,
right here.
When I become...
Let's see if I can find it.
Okay, when I become Brian Abbottson, then we know I'll have fully made it.
Is it this one?
Brian Ibbott?
No, that's where you got you right. He did that.
Yeah.
Scott Johnson's got quite the...
Yeah, that's not it. Hold on. Brian Ibbotson?
Brian Ibbotson.
Ibbotson. Okay. I can't find the Abbottson or Abbott.
I don't know if we ever capped it. We just played it from the YouTube video or the podcast link.
I found it.
Brian Abbott is still doing Coverville.
Oh, that's what he almost said. Abbottson. He went Brian.
He
Abbott's?
almost said Abbottson.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, I'm not going to say Abbottson because that's wrong.
I've been corrected so many times on that. I will say Abbott, which is correct.
Yeah, I'll get that fixed.
That's amazing. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. Big thanks, everybody, for supporting the show. Look, we got a brand new month rolling over, and that's a perfect time to hop in. We're going to do a play date this weekend. Are we doing it our normal Friday time, did we say?
Well, we should talk about that because we've had some people request to do a Saturday play date so that people who work on Fridays can participate.
I think that would be fine to do it after Film Sack or something.
Yeah, could you throw up a like a poll on, or we just do it? Maybe we just do it and we don't even give people the option.
Yeah, we're gonna dictate your lives. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Why don't we say? So we usually end around 11 at the latest.
Yeah.
So if we said, I don't know,
maybe start 11:30 or
11:30. Yeah. I like that. Let's say 11:30.
Yeah.
11:30 Saturday play date. That means anybody actually. This isn't just patrons. Anybody in the audience who wants to come watch and even maybe play. Patrons get first shot, but if we fill up slots or whatever, you can definitely get in. Don't know what we're playing yet, but we'll figure that out. There was talk of what was that? I'll have to do some research. Somebody was saying,
is there a new game that we could possibly do?
But I can't remember if it was like more than a. if it was enough, like we want is stuff where at least 8 or more people can play.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember if what they talked about was that, so I gotta find out. I'll find out.
Okay. Yeah.
But something. Anyway, that'll happen Saturday, 11:30. There, we did it. We locked it in. 11:30 Saturday.
11:30. We've locked it in. It's help! It's happening.
That's right. Most Fridays you get your couch parties, which we'll return to the very following week. And every day you're going to get pre-show content as well. You're going to get other great monthly benefits. You can only get those by being a patron at patreon.com/TMS. Big thanks to everyone who already does. And if you have other questions, you want to request songs, you have all those other links we always talk about. QuickTMS.li is linked there as well. You can go to frogpants.com/TMS to get everything, all of it. And we record every morning at 9 a.m. Mountain Time right here at frogpants.tv if you want to watch us live. All right, that is going to do
Town of
it.
Salem?
What is? Who? Where?
The game, the multiplayer game. Merrick said Town of Salem. I'm looking at it right now. It looks like an online one-night werewolf kind of thing.
Salem. I haven't heard of this.
I'll give you a link.
Unless this is the one they were telling me. It's a video? Oh, yeah.
blankmediagames.com.
It's $5.
Oh, America was suggesting it. This looks really cool. This would be a great one to do.
So it's $5. 2014 is older.
Yeah. Oh, wow. No kidding.
Let's see. I'm trying to see if this... Can people join in if they don't have it? Well, we'll look into it. I know there's a few of these things floating around, so
there's a Town of Salem 2 on Steam too, so we probably want to get the sequel. But yeah, we'll talk about it. That sounds actually really, really. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that one just came out August 25th.
Did it? Okay, so that might be why it's
$8
popular. And yeah, and we can it's basically Among Us verbally.
That could be fun.
That would be a lot of fun. I'd totally be up for that.
The only reviews that are bad are saying, very fun game, but toxic community. Well, we're not doing that because it'd be just us. So
yeah.
But
that problem is solved right there.
This guy says, best social deduction game ever if you are racist. So there must be a...
no.
I think they clearly have a community problem, but we wouldn't have that problem because it'd be us playing. So
that's definitely a them problem and would not be an us problem.
No, I don't think so anyway. All right, that's going to do it for today. Brian, let's play a song to take us out. What do you have?
Yeah, absolutely. This one, I'm finally getting this, and I apologize I'm getting to it late, but we had a lot of stuff going on this month. This one was from the 11th of this month, so a couple weeks, 3 weeks late. Hi, Scott and Brian, says Anonymous. I'm keeping myself anonymous as I was the emailer for Therapy Thursday back in October 2021 episode number 2190, Dealing with a Lack of Will to Live. You mentioned that you would like to hear an update, but there really wasn't any change until recently. A mere week and a half ago, I met someone. She's also someone that has had to deal with loss. She's a widow. We have connected in a way that is almost troublesome with how powerful it is. Last night, she proposed to me. She wants to start the rest of our lives together as soon as possible. We're going to the courthouse on Friday. I've never been one to rush things like this, but it feels right. I was wondering if there was a cover of Adam Sandler's Grow Old With You to play in celebration of our nuptials. If not, another appropriate selection would be a cover of Queen's Love of My Life. I know this isn't much notice, but if you have a spot on Friday or soon after that, I can surprise my Scottish tornado of affection with, it would be appreciated. Signed, Anonymous.
This is great news to hear that this is all going on for you. This is great.
Absolutely. All of that is makes us happy to hear. So congratulations, Anonymous. And Grow Old With You. We've got a cover of that. This one's by Brent Morgan. Came out as a single this year. And it's a sweet song. I'll tell you that, one of our first class passengers has asked to sing this song and dedicate it to a person in coach. And we're going to allow it because we basically let our first class passengers do whatever the beep they want. So here you go. Going out to you, and congratulations, and good luck, Anonymous. We love hearing from you. This great news. Here is Grow Old With You by Brent Morgan.
Get more at frogpants.com.
I threw a wish in the well.
Ugh.
I forgot about Tay Sunday's cover of that.
Damn.
It sounds like Brian Dunaway doing his Pee Wee Herman. Paging Mr. Herman.